Hello, this is wmpyr here to talk about defending against a knife using the eskrima method. Alright, so basically, in my opinion, first let's start off with the philosophy. If you are walking out in the street and someone's being a jerk to you, they're calling you names, they're being a bully, they're threatening you or whatever, and at this moment you decide, okay, let me consider defending myself against this person. So you go, okay, I'm going to reach into my eskrima skills. At that point, hopefully, you're going to look at yourself and go, well, eskrima is where I use sticks. In most of my training, I use sticks, and then use knives, training knives, and stuff like that. So if you don't have a weapon on you at that moment, then you're not going to do it. You're not going to say, okay, I'm going to fight this guy off of me, or I'm going to teach him a lesson, or I'm going to basically show him not to mess with me. That you're not going to do it because you're going to go, oh, I don't have my sticks with me. Okay, so hopefully that will avoid you from getting into a confrontation. So that already puts you in a position where you're going, no, 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 I don't want any part of this. And you're more in the runaway, or you're just, if the guy's calling you names, then you just take it, and that's it. So that's actually the philosophy right there, because we are a weapons-based system, all right? Now, if you are in a similar situation, and the guy is super mean, and he's a jerk, and he totally deserves getting his butt kicked, and he's coming at you or whatever, and at that moment, let's say you do actually have a weapon on you of some sort, okay? Because it's a weapon, I hope that you can understand, like if it's your knife, then you're going to go, well, if I take this out right now, I'm going to kill this guy. So I can't do it. So either way, whether you have a weapon or you don't have a weapon, you're going to tell yourself, I should not fight this person. So to me, that's the philosophy right there. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because in reality, most fights probably can be avoided. They didn't have to happen. When I look back on some of the confrontations that I had, almost all of them where I actually physically fought somebody, they could have all been avoided. So I'm not saying that's 100% of the case every time, no, but I'm saying most of the time it's probably unnecessary. Most of the time it's probably your ego. So this is a good philosophy to have. You don't want to fight. And having this kind of eskrima philosophy, it lets you know, hey, if I had a weapon, I could take this guy. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not, but it gives you that kind of comfort where you could be secure with yourself. But for the moment, I don't have my weapon, so I'm not going to fight this guy. Or for the moment, I do have a weapon, but I don't want to kill this guy, so I'm not going to fight. Either way, you're avoiding the fight. To me, that's a good philosophy. And that's what I try to pass on to my students, because Hollywood has brainwashed us so much, and I feel like everyone wants to kick some ass. We all dream and fantasize about that, and it's not about the butt kicking. It's not. We don't live in that kind of world anymore, and it's not that simple. It's not like you just kick this guy's butt and then all of a sudden you're a hero, everything is cool, your life is better now. That's not the way it works, folks. So it's quite the reverse, actually. We are a weapons-based system. That being said, obviously we do have empty hand aspect of the art. That is something that a lot of people forget. But our main thing still, regardless, is weapons. Why? The reason for that is because you have an armed person, armed with weapons, versus an unarmed person with no weapons. The armed person has a huge, huge advantage. That is what we believe. I don't even know if you could call it a belief. It's a fact. So if you look at history, the human civilization, all the warfares that we've had, probably 99.9% of war is fought with weapons. So just even history speaks for itself, all right? So we believe that having weapons, if you're really serious about defending yourself, and I'm not talking about fighting or challenging some kind of duel, it's for honor. I'm not talking about any of those things. I'm just talking about for survival. So if some of these people have really bad intentions towards you, then in that situation, there are no rules. You're a victim here. You're just trying to survive. You don't want to take part in this. So yeah, in an honorable situation where one person is challenging you, for honor versus honor, hand to hand, face to face, a dual challenge match type situation, and you bring a weapon to that, or you cheat and you attack their eyes or something, then yes, that's terrible. But I'm talking about survival. I'm talking about warfare. I'm talking about combat. I'm talking about not becoming a victim, not getting raped, not ending up in a hospital crippled or death. That's what I'm talking about here. So in that case, a weapon to me is 100% justified. If you can't justify the use of a weapon, then that's probably not a real self-defense type situation, or there's probably something that you need to do something else, like verbal de-escalation, or go to the counselor, tell the police, or move, or it's just something else is required in that type of situation, right? So anyway, okay, but here in where I'm at in Texas, in my local area, a couple of years ago on the college campus, what happened was there was some insane guy that had a big old knife and decided to attack everyone that he saw with this knife. It actually happened, and I was very worried when it did happen. It's very close to where I live and stuff like that on campus, and yeah, that happened. So this kind of situation does occur. So let's say this is the kind of situation that you're in, right? How would you defend yourself against a knife in that case? So when someone else has a weapon, I mean, to me, this is now like, at the very least, it's like gladiator, okay? So the first thing is, imagine you're a gladiator in the Colosseum and you're going to face somebody. At the very least minimum, what you're going to want is a sword, a shield, and armor, right? So that's the same idea here that you're going to want. So in this case, the first thing that I would do is like get a book or something and put it underneath your shirt. That's number one. That's your armor right there. You want something. If you have a jacket, then put it on. If you have a backpack, then put it to the front. You're going to want some kind of armor. That's number one. Okay, number two is you're going to want some kind of a weapon and shield. Sometimes the weapon and shield is the same thing, like with eskrima. It's a more minimalistic approach. Ideally, we have a shield and we have our sword. But if that's not possible, then the sword also becomes the shield, right? Or the shield also becomes the weapon. You hit people with it. So at the very least, like in the modern world, you can find something like this, right? It's like newspaper or a magazine or something like that. And the side that's like all open up like this side, not here. Let's see. See how this opens, kind of like this, right? So this is the side that you want to roll up, and not this side. The side that it's folded. That's the side that you want to have as the base. So you just get a bunch of stuff like this, and remember, get the open up side and just roll it. Roll it as tight as you can, and this doesn't take a whole lot of time. Okay, so once you roll it up like so, you're going to grab it towards the end, but not all the way to the end. Okay, so towards the end, you want a little bit sticking out. And here, this is your makeshift eskrima stick. It's a small eskrima stick right here. And you would be surprised at how hard you can actually stab with this thing. And yeah, sure, it might start to crumple a little bit, but it's still, I'm hitting it pretty freaking hard. And then here, this is the backside, same thing. I'm hitting it pretty freaking hard there. Definitely would not want to get hit by this, like on the temple and stuff, or even in the face. And then this area right here, what you got sticking out, this is going to be what you're going to be using to ward off their knife attacks. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for listening, and take care, folks.